This video is presented by EA Game Changers. Moschino stuff, Kentucky Fried Chicken and Moschino stuff. So, the Moschino stuff pack's a thing now. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this pack, I had on a full-on Amber Paladin.
Now for just a small fee of $19.95 plus shipping and handling, I'm gonna tell you to get it right out of my chat. I don't want anything to do. I want to take it away right now. Get out.
You might have watched my video where I shared my initial thoughts, and you know what? Spoiler alert, I was not happy with the pack. I was not. And then I watched the trailer, and my thoughts were still. Do you get it? I don't get this. I don't get it. Is this a cash grab? Hello 911, I'd like to report late stage capitalism. Then I actually focused on the trailer and my thoughts, I'm not gonna lie, changed a little bit. So today I'm going to be giving you a review of the pack and my thoughts on whether or not you should buy it. I'm not going to be doing an in-depth overview because I'm not going to lie, your feed is probably spammed by people already doing that, so I'm here to just tell you what I think. Keep in mind though that I did not pay for this pack. It was kindly sent to me by EA, but all of my opinions are 100% my own. I'm not paid to say anything, but I'm just letting you know that I received this pack for free, so I can't be thoroughly unbiased because EA didn't claw my money out my cold dead hands. I received it for free, so I can't be thoroughly unbiased. Anyway, now that you know I'm not a Tory and I am in fact a person for the people, let's get into it. So, Moschino is a brand, right? A clothing brand. So you'd think the majority of items in this pack would be focused around clothes, their own clothes. Spoiler alert, big fat no, they're not. False. We get some things in Creator Sim, but the majority of the pack, I would say, is more focused on build and buy mode items and the new career, the job, not the country. And I'll talk about whether or not I think this is a good thing later on. So the pieces that we get in Creator Sim are for teens, adults and elders. There's absolutely nothing for children and toddlers, which... oof, honestly, that makes a bee in my bonnet. I'll tell you that one for free. I'm sick of kids and toddlers being ignored, but you know what? Someone needs to call the RSPB on here. Honestly though, some of these pieces are actually quite good and I will use them a lot. For example, the new leather jacket that we've got, that is beautiful, and the new comb back hairstyle. Oh my good god, it's everything I wished and dared for, but I could never actually achieve myself. And I even like the new piece design jumper. I think that one's class, to be honest. It's really up my alley. And these are the type of things I'd expect from a collaboration between The Sims and a high-end fashion brand. And then there's some bad pieces. One of them being this tuxedo style top, which makes me honestly A, feel absolutely sick, and B, feel like it's 2009, I'm in a Panic at the Disco music video.
I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door, no?
So I'm not too happy with that one. Apparently these are designed on Moschino being inspired by The Sims. Honestly, don't quote me on that one because I could be lying to you right now. But for me, I'm like, does that really scream The Sims though? I just don't get it. Does not going through my head. I think the biggest crime for me is that there's a Moschino top with English writing on it. Writing not being in Simlish is my biggest pet. Like, I hate it. I can't stand it. It completely breaks this whole suspension of disbelief for me because I'm supposed to believe that I'm playing this fake life and it's supposed to distract me from my real life, and then I say, oh, something that reminds me that life actually exists, and it just does not float my boat, you know. But I can kind of justify it in this instance because it is a collaboration between Moschino and The Sims, so they're kind of gonna want their own branding on things. But the fact it's English basically just shuts any possibility of this top being something I use in my day-to-day gameplay out the window. I'm also a bit iffy about the pieces that were included from the actual capsule design. The capsule design is a collection that you can buy and wear in real life, like it is a thing in real life. These feature the old design, and honestly, I'm not sure which one would have been worse. I don't know whether it would have been better to have the redesign quite a while ago and then come out with this capsule collection, or to come out with this capsule collection first and then have the redesign quite far down the road, because it kind of just comes across as you're selling outdated things, you know, like you're paying money for a pack that's not got the current logos and stuff on. I don't really see a workaround for this one because it is from an actual collection that was released before the redesign. It's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, but I think, considering there is a redesign, some thought should have been given to the capsule collection, because I don't know, because now it's got outdated merch, hasn't it? I don't know, it might become valuable in like 50 years or something. keep on to it. Hold on to it, guys. I will say, honestly, the majority of items in Create Sim really aren't bad. There's not that much of it, which I'm surprised about, like I've said, considering a collaboration between a high-end fashion brand and The Sims. But there is some pieces that I will use quite heavily in the future. I'm just as shocked as you. And obviously, there also is some pieces that I will not use ever, unless it's styling items that I don't like. Because Moschino is a brand that doesn't necessarily speak to me as a working class common girl, you know? Like, it's just not really up my alley. More of a pre-mark kind of person. That's basically it for Create Sim. The overall vibe for me is good with some bad pieces. And now we move on to build and buy, and my tone is gonna change. I'm upbeat, I'm happy, it's a good day, my friends. I'm thoroughly impressed with almost everything in build and buy mode, and I say that from my heart, like me to you, thee to me. I'm impressed, and there's a lot of stuff that's going to be useful outside of this pack. One thing that I like to rate packs on is how well the stuff can be used outside of this specific pack. So for example, if you're not into Moschino or the fashion career or anything like that, can you still use these items? And yes, you can. I'm very happy to say that, because I thought this would be a Katy Perry sweet treat situation, and it's not. And not only that, I think it's actually including a lot of things that we've been desperately needing in build and buy mode. There's new model industrial windows, which are absolutely beautiful. They have a variety of swatches that come with an open window. Fantabulous. My only, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, my only bad point, that's it. I'm just going to say my only bad point about them windows is that there isn't a brown swatch, but there is a lot of swatches and they all go together. There's also, which I'm so happy about, there's new modern settees, which the modern settees in The Sims have not been great so far, but I actually really like this one, and I'm pretty sure there's a chair, a table, a bookshelf, everything like that. And you can use these in a variety of contexts as well. You don't have to just use these in a high-end industrial loft. The swatches will make them fit in a family room or a kid's room or anything. There's some really solid swatches there. And I want to reiterate that point again, because I know that this swatches issue has been an issue with older packs as well. There's so many swatches. And even better, all of the swatches from like the bookshelf, the table, they're all homogenous, they're all match. So your bookshelf can be the exact same swatch as your table. It's mint. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Because there's some packs where some of the items that just don't go with anything else that's been included in that pack, and it kind of renders them useless because you want everything to all be in the same style. Honestly, really see the Sims effort here to make this not just a big, massive, gigantic advertisement for Moschino. It still is, and I'm not 100% okay with it, but with the effort that's been put into build and buy mode, like I'd say build and buy mode is a bigger part of the pack than Create Sim. The effort's definitely being made, and it's not just a gigantic cash grab, in my humble working class labour opinion. Hello, hi, it's me just popping in to say that it sounds like I've crawled up EA's bumhole and just gone in hibernation for the winter. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm usually not this much of a suck up. I'm just honestly shocked. Usually, I'm not scared to be critical of EA. I'm not scared to be critical of EA in this instance, by the way. I shouldn't, like, that was the wrong word. But basically, I'm usually very critical. So if I give a good review, it means that it's good. It doesn't mean that I'm like, you know, up EA's bumhole. And we also have new items for the fashion photography career, and there was some backlash about this because these items have kind of already been included in previous packs, like Get to Work. We've already had this studio, and I understand that it's a very fair point, and I think we should fix what we've already got instead of making something similar and slapping a price tag on it. But exclusive of what we've already got, these pieces are really good. They're cool, they'll do what they say on the tin, but still, we've already got it, which kind of, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth, you know? And the camera's also like ridiculously small, which it just confused me. Like, the camera's like yay big. Anyway, next I'm going to talk about the fashion photography career, the job, not the country. And I'm not going to mention the actual photography update that came with this, because that was free. It's not part of this pack, which good, let me tell you. So the career is a freelancing career, and freelancers came as part of a free update, and I'm going to try and keep my own personal opinions out of this to some extent, as much as I can, because I'm not the type of simmer who likes to work from home. Like, freelancing career is not for me. The get to work career is not for me, because I get sick of my Sims real quick. So I much prefer to send them off to work so I don't have to look at the face for a good couple of hours, otherwise it'll drive me absolutely insane and I'll make them cheat just to get rid of them. So this type of gameplay, not necessarily up my alley, but I will say I did enjoy playing with this career. I really did. Like I said, it's not up my alley, but it's more than what I expected. I don't know where I've heard this from, but I've definitely heard it right, that it was part-time career. I'm sure I've heard some sim guru say it was a part-time career. Don't know where I've got that, but I'm very, very, very happy it's not and it's a freelancing career instead, because I think part-time, why not just make it full-time? But thankfully, it's just as customizable and you can work as much as you want to, which is great. I love that you can do that. I will also say, because I think it's right to let you know that while I was playing with this career, there was some bugs when I was playing with it, but I do also want you to keep in mind that I was playing with an early release, so any bugs that I was playing with might have already been solved by the time you go and buy this pack. So I feel like it's right to let you know, but also take that with a pinch of salt, because it could already be solved. I also forgot to say some annoyances I found while I was playing with the gameplay, but one of them was that I actually ended up using the get to work station more than I used the one that came with this pack, because it's actually quite hard to build your photography skill. It takes a long time. And the second thing was, a lot of the objectives require you to send photos off, but the photos that you see in your inventory are actually quite hard to see, and sometimes you've got categories like swimwear or athletic wear or formal wear or whatever, and in a picture frame that's that small in your inventory, it is hard to see what you're sending off. So sometimes you might send the wrong thing off and get your thing rejected. So two things to keep in mind, but also I don't wear my glasses when I play The Sims, so it's probably my fault, innit? So finally, should you buy it? Well, there's a whole thing about being Moschino, and on the one hand, great partnership for The Sims. Like, that is an exclusive designer brand, so that's great for The Sims. But on the other hand, it's not really the type of brand I would like or expect The Sims to partner with, because I and many others could never afford Moschino, and I would much rather have a collaboration with a brand that I can actually relate to and might go out and purchase their products. For example, IKEA, a brilliant stuff pack that was introduced in The Sims 2. Marvellous. I would love that. I would be on that like flies round. But with Moschino, I'm like, ugh. And then the pieces that have been included that are actually from Moschino, like the freezer bunny top, I just can't. Like, the tuxedo top is honestly, it's done goofed. But I must say, even though this is technically just a massive advertisement for Moschino, I think the Sims team have done well with it. I really do. It's not unlike the Sims to take on partnerships that kind of consumers aren't really happy with. For example, Katy Perry's Sweet Treats. But I actually think that this pack will only serve to benefit your game. There's a lot of things included in this that really have nothing to do with Moschino, and I think that's a good thing. I really do. And I think even having the Moschino items out of Creator Sim, if they weren't included in the first place and this was sold as some kind of a Sims 3 high-end loft stuff, I would still say this is a good pack. There is some solid Creator Sim items as well. There's new active career, and any bugs will most likely be gone by the time you get to play with it. And some of the build and buy mode objects are the best objects I've seen so far in the game. And I really do think that they've made an effort to make this pack not just exclusively a Moschino pack, but still enjoyable and for it to actually add to your game. So, would I part with my own money for this pack? Yeah, honestly, I would. I don't even think it's in my bottom 5 for stuff packs. I actually think that this is somewhere in the middle. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm honestly shocked to hear those words coming out my mouth, because I had my pitchforks out and ready before a year had even mentioned this stuff pack. But I'm gonna have to hold my hands up and put my pitchforks down. I'm impressed. That is everything that I have. Like I said, big thanks to EA for sending me with a copy of this to review early, and I'm low-key happy with them for not making this pack an absolute disaster like my first pet stuff. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below what you think about this as well, because this entire thing is all subjective, so your opinion could be completely different from mine, and that's fine, and I want to hear it. And also, just in case anyone is worried or wondering, I'm on the mend, guys. I'm doing well. Thanks for all your lovely comments, and thanks for caring, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.